Hello guys, how are you? This is Cryptex. This is a quick live. Maybe it's gonna be a little bit messy because it is just to test StreamYard, which is it's the first time I'm gonna use this software. So it's just a test here, and at the same time, if you want to talk about the Delphi case, even better. So I have a cheap microphone. The software is a free version, and I don't have a very good illumination, so I don't know. Hey, Simon Wright, how are you, man? I saw you the other time in I don't remember what channel. First of all, can you hear me well? Let me know if my sound is good, man. Thank you. So I saw you the other time in another channel. I don't remember the channel. You were talking about some tip you got from the family of or a neighbor of Richard Allen or something like that. Yes is what is yes? You can hear me well, or what is that? Yes, man. Uh, anyway, so no, good, man. It was good to see you there, and you're very, how can I say, brave to go out and to share your experience and your free Palestine. Bogey 708. Man, you know I don't like to talk about politics here because it's not gonna end well at the end. So I think every side is suffering. People from Palestine, people from Israel, wherever. Now I get you. Now I get the joke. Yeah, free Palestine. Okay, Hamas. That's what you're trying to say. Okay, whatever. Um, I want to, as I was telling you guys, I'm trying to test this software. This week we are talking where genocide is not politics. I don't want to enter in that matter, man. I'm sorry for that. Maybe I'm gonna create another channel for politics, and we can talk there for about that. This week we had a lot of more information about the allegedly um, confessions of Richard Allen. As you know, I love to use movies to share my or to explain my points. So here I'm gonna share a clip from the movie. You're gonna see here. I hope it's gonna work. Just give me 1 sec. So I don't know if you could hear it. Sorry, I'm just trying to test this software. Some viewers says that the sound was a little quiet. Sorry for that. But the idea is that look, we know that Richard Allen did some confessions, and at the end, I don't know if the confessions are going to be admissible. We know that there are some inconsistencies. Uh, According to the defense, in one of the confessions, Richard Allen said that he shot the girls at the back, which is not consistent with the information we have about the way the girls were murdered or the way they died. But at the same time, we don't know all the information. We don't know we don't know the document of the autopsy. We don't know the information from the coroner's report, and the pictures of the girl that were displayed or published everywhere around the internet. We can see only the top of the girls. We don't know what was at the back, if they had some kind of injuries. Maybe they were shot. So I'm going very far fetched in my thinking, but we don't know what happened. Abby was dressed. Did she has any kind of injury, any bite, or I don't know. I know I'm going very far in my thinking, but who knows? Remember I know everyone, almost everyone hates the murder shit. but they released in the past very important information. They had these interviews with the Keegan Kline stepbrother, with the Keegan Kline's stepsister, with Keegan Kline, and in one of those interviews, remember that the Tony Kline's stepdaughter, she said that Tony Kline was shooting her from the back, or when she was trying to run away from him. Tony Kline tried to, I don't know if he tried to kill her or just to scare her, but he shot at her. So what it in the Delphi's murder, that there was some kind of similar scenario there. I don't think Tony Kline was that stupid to miss. She was a hunter. He was a hunter, sorry. So he wouldn't miss a shot like that. If he really wanted to kill the stepdaughter, it was an easy shot. In my opinion, he wanted just to scare the girl. So maybe the same kind of scenario happened here in Delphi. They were shot, but it was not a fatal shot. I don't know. I'm just going far-fetched, but we don't know all the information. We need to wait for the coroner reports. What was the autopsy? We know what was the way they died, but we don't know what other kind of injuries they had. Remember that according to the transcript of Keegan Kline's, we were talking about bites, stomach, abdomen, some kind of fixation of fetish with the stomach and the abdomen. So maybe the same kind of thing happened in the murder scene, but we don't know. I don't know. Let's see. The book, this is Scout. The book Promise Not to Tell, that Becky Patty has overlaps. Yeah, that is interesting. No gunshots reported. I don't know if there were reported or not, but I remember some rumors about some people that were in the Mono Heights Bridge at around the time of the murders. They stated that they hear some gunshots. I don't know if that's true or not, but anyway, you can have a silencer. Silencer, is that a word in English? A silence device to minimize the sound of the gun. We don't know. So even if no one reported gunshots, maybe there was a silencer. This is a possibility. I don't know. Mario Lar, Keegan J. Kline. Yes, silencer is a word. Thank you, Fluffy. Thank you, Fluffy Bunny. Is the streaming fluid, or do you have some issues during the streaming? The sound suppressor. Okay. Simon, now that you're here, can you share something about your experience, about the information you have from Richard Allen, the tip you had about that? It's fine. Thank you so much. It's interesting for me to know about the information you have. And I know you were you were kind of stressed or nervous, but don't worry, man. Yeah, you were brave to share your points, and thank you for that. That's what we need. If we blame, or if we smash the people that is going out with the information, we are not gonna go. We're not gonna have any improvement in this scenario. Have a link to join you? Let's try it. As I'm telling you, this is the first time I'm using this software, so maybe you're gonna be the first person calling to this channel. So let's try. Let's try, man. I just put the link there, so I don't even know how to answer if you call, but let's try. Scout says, I'm interested in the info. Yeah, I was very interested when Simon was talking about the information he had in that channel. But yeah, don't be anxious, Simon. This is not a channel where we trash people, and just try to be respectful. And I know you are, so everything's gonna be fine. So as I'm telling you, I don't even know how to answer a call. This is the first time, and that's the purpose of this live, to try to share the link in the chat. Okay, I'm gonna share it. Give me just 1 second. Just 1 second, man. How do I do this? Okay, let me try. I don't know. Okay, I think I got it. Give me 1 second. So I think it's gonna be there in a couple of seconds, man. So I think it's in the chat right now. And so coming back to, while waiting for Simon, coming back to the, do you see the link? Simon is there. Okay, I think I can see you now.
Hi, Cryptex.
Hey, Cripsy, come here. Hi, Simon. How are you? Do you hear me?
I can set the camera. There we go. So I apologize for shake.
Give me just 1 second. My dog is stressed. Hey, it's okay. Come here, baby. Come here. It's okay. Sorry. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you well. Nice to meet you.
Okay, nice to meet you too, man. You're the first guest in my channel ever. So thanks for being here.
No
How
problem,
are you?
No problem. I'm good. I suffer from anxiety, so I shake quite a lot.
Don't worry, me too. I'm very shy. It took a lot of time to develop this channel because me too. I'm stressed with I'm in front of the camera, so I understand you so well. So don't worry about that.
Yeah.
So I will let you talk, man. Share your experience, and yeah, I hear you.
Okay, so this is the story. It'll match a video that's on my YouTube channel. It'll match conversations I've had with CJ, with Reno, people like that. And all it is in 2021, I didn't come up with a system, but I tried to trap BG by getting suspects. So I made posts on social media, on Facebook and on Reddit, saying I will look at anyone's suspect.
Okay.
And a few people contacted me with different suspects, each one with their own suspect. But one of the people that contacted me was a lady, and I say a lady because there was a lady's username, so okay. I'm presuming a lady. And she contacted me with Richard Allen's pictures. And we were comparing them to the sketches. That's how it started. She actually presented them in an unusual way. She showed one, then deleted one. So it was an unusual interaction anyway. It stood out for that. Yeah. Anyway, she showed me Richard Allen's Facebook page. She showed me a site where we worked out Richard Allen's date of birth. I can't remember how we did that, but Richard Allen is about a month older than me. We had a look at the area because I remember the area because it fit in with the theory I had regarding the boots being taken from the Packers plant. They were taken in February 2017, and I presumed that the police had picked up a boot print in a place called Bridge Creek, which would have been the exit route if you were going to the Packers yard, but it's also the exit route if you were going to Richard Allen's house. So when I saw his house, it fit with the theory that I had. My main theory is a bit nuts. It's called dog theory, okay? And I was presuming that there was a dog at the scene.
Why did you think that?
What do I think now? I think it was Richard Allen alone. I do think it was Richard Allen. I think he's going to have trouble explaining the bullet.
Okay.
But I think it's Richard Allen.
How about, tell me about the dog. Why were you thinking about that dog in the scene, at the crime scene?
Yeah, on the Ron Logan search warrants, it says what they're looking for. And one of the first things is hair, but at the end of the paragraph is animal hair. So animal hair fits hair, so animal hair has been added to the paragraph. So I thought animal hair was something that they were very keen to get hold of. So that's where it started. But then people like Brian James Chadwell and Keegan Kline both had pit bulls.
Yeah, I remember that they had pit bulls, both of them. Yeah, I remember.
So they fit dog theory. There's other things that fit dog theory, but
and I think Keegan Kline and Tony Kline too. They had pit bulls.
Right, yeah, they had. The other thing about Tony Kline and Keegan was they had a red Jeep. Well, red Jeep is actually a pit bull bloodline. Red was a famous pit bull, and Jeep was a famous pit bull. So red Jeep seems like the type of car that somebody that was into pit bulls would own.
Yeah, let me interrupt you here, Simon, because now I'm remembering something. I remember now that at one point there was some kind of connection between Chadwell and Keegan Kline, because they were going to the same hairdresser salon room. I don't know if you remember something about that.
Yeah, this Keegan Kline's Twitter posts are still up, and I've been through them, and it looks like he's talking cryptically. He says things like, let me think. There's a really good one. Well, it's very cryptic, but you can make up what you want with cryptic things. So it's very hard to say it's definite evidence. That's why he was doing it. So I think he was communicating. Keegan Kline was communicating using code.
Yeah, I got it.
And there's a possibility, because one of the tweets is about a hairdresser's or a tattoo place, I can't remember, in Kokomo. There's a possibility that some of those messages were read by Brian James Chadwell. So, but there's no.
Sorry, Simon. Let me stop you here again. Another thing that is really special in this case is, the case was like very slow during the first 5 years since the murders. And since Brian Chadwell was arrested, there was like a domino effect. You have Brian Chadwell. I forgot his name. Right away, you have the Klines. Right away, you have Richard Allen. It was like one after the other ones. That was really special in this case. It was like a flat line, a horizontal line during the first 5 years. And during the last year or the last 2 years, it was like a vertical line. And that started with Chadwell. I know that it's hard to make a connection with Chadwell right now. And at the time, we were talking about the tattoos, the tattoo that was really similar to Levy's and whatever. But anyway, it was special. You have a horizontal line, a flat line during the first years. And then you have Chadwell, Klines, Allen, I don't know. I think that some kind of confession or some kind of information was shared to the police at that point when Chadwell was arrested. And sorry to interrupt you.
No, yeah.
I can hear you again. You can continue.
I agree with you regarding Keegan Klein. It didn't come to light until quite late. Except if you were following dog theory, you were onto him quite early because he fit dog theory. There are posts on Facebook going back to February 2017 that talk of a search on the Klein's home. So he became a suspect really because in that post it talked of a dog being taken away. So I was on to Keegan Klein a bit earlier than everyone else, but I wasn't 100% he was involved anyway. There's been times when I have thought he was involved, but I don't think he is. I think he's Anthony Shots, and Anthony Shots was communicating with the girls. And I think the girls managed to get Anthony Shots, Keegan Klein, and Richard Allen.
Okay, so let's come back to the beginning. You were talking about the dog, and so continue with your the information you have.
Basically, I was looking for somebody that had a pit bull, like, really, that fit my theory. I wasn't looking for Richard Allen. So when Richard Allen came across, in front of me, and I was showing the comparison to the sketches, and then later the Facebook page, I thought, well, it's not him. He's not Bridge Guy. He's got blue eyes, whereas we were told not to look for blue eyes. I thought he was too short, and he was the wrong age. Although he did walk like Bridge Guy from a video that I'd seen. So I wasn't sure. I wasn't even 10% sure that Richard Allen was Bridge Guy. I totally dismissed it, but I did report it. I reported it because I thought he was going to get doxxed. So doxing is where you put somebody's name out to something that they're not. And I thought that was going to happen. I thought he was going to get labelled as a child murderer. And it may be that he is one.
But what was your thinking? That there was a dog attack or something like that?
Yeah, I thought that a dog was the weapon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sorry again. Sorry, Simon. In the Chadwell's case, that was the case. He used the dog to attack the girl in the basement of his house.
Yeah, so there's another case as well.
It was not a crazy theory, anyways.
Yeah, it sounds a crazy theory, but things were happening. There was a dog attack in where was it? In Quincy, Illinois, 27th of February. So straight after, I think, sorry, not 27th, 17th of February. Straight after the girls were murdered, a guy called Jamie Owsley was murdered in a place called Quincy by his cousin. His cousin managed to avoid a murder charge and get a very severe sentence for a dangerous dog charge. But personally, I think it's murder. His mum thinks it's murder. So the killer got away with it, really.
I will let you talk here, Simon, but I have to leave 1 second because my dog.
That's okay. Right. So I've got the place to myself. Basically, I reported Richard Allen as Bridge Guy, but not because I thought he was Bridge Guy, but because I thought he was going to get doxxed, which is putting somebody's name out for something that they haven't done. I hadn't seen a doxing. I hadn't seen it being doxxed. I just presumed. Oh, you're back. Good.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's a pretty short story. I mean, I didn't take it seriously. I didn't think Richard Allen was Bridge Guy. I did think he walked a bit funny. But he didn't fit. He had blue eyes. He had he was the wrong age, and he was the wrong height.
This is a good point you have here right now, because I remember the Sergeant Riley. He said in an interview that Bridge Guy, he didn't have blue eyes.
Yeah,
remember
I was under the impression that he didn't have blue eyes. So when I saw Richard Allen, he had blue eyes.
And in my mind, because a lot of people is blaming Kathy Allen because she was not, how can I say, reporting Richard Allen in this case. But you have the police stating on the news that British guy, he doesn't have blue eyes. Yeah. Kathy Allen, he has his husband right next to her, and the guy has blue eyes. So for her, it's not British guy because the police law enforcement is telling her, British guy, he doesn't have blue eyes. So that's the confusion here. The law enforcement told us clearly on the news, British guy, he doesn't have blue eyes. And now we have Richard Allen all over the place, and the guy has blue eyes. So what the fuck?
Yeah, I have a theory.
Yeah, clearly.
If the law enforcement knew of Richard Allen, but they didn't have enough evidence, then they would possibly use a ruse. Is that word you'd use? Yeah. A ruse is like a trick. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the trick here would be to trick Richard Allen into thinking they were looking at somebody else, like Keegan Klein.
Okay.
So I have a feeling, but I'm not 100%, but it's a thought that maybe we've all been tricked, yeah, mm-hmm. To catch Richard Allen.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah,
like a reverse psychology, something like that.
Yeah, basically, if he feels safe, then he's going to continue life as normal. And that looks like what's happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand. And after that, what happened? So you were like in the dog attack theory, and what happened after?
Well, I was still into dog theory right until Richard Allen got caught, until he was arrested. Okay. As soon as he was arrested, I removed all the content on my channel regarding dog theory because it didn't look like it was true. So I didn't want anything to pervert the story. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to keep an eye on the chat. I'm sorry if I've not replied to the chat.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You do your thing. Oh, no, it's okay.
Yeah. So I ignored it because I didn't think he was Bridge Guy, and nothing happened. Nobody contacted me. There's still nobody's contacted me.
But what was the information you got from the people who contacted you? Exactly, what was the exact information you got?
Everything that you can see that's public now. So things like the Facebook account of Kathy Allen, had a look at that. There was no evidence.
Sorry, Simon. At that time, did you check on the Richard Allen's Facebook account? Because right now we don't have any. I think he erased the Facebook activity. So I don't know if at that time he had some Facebook.
No, I don't think there was a Facebook account for him because the account I was showing at the time was Kathy Allen's. It wasn't his. So okay. I don't think he deleted an account. I just don't think he ever had one.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
So yeah, nothing happened. So I presume that Richard Allen was an innocent man and it had been dealt with by law enforcement. And nobody's still nobody's got in touch with me. I mean, I don't need to be got in touch with anyway. I'd passed all the information over that I had. So I'm quite looking forward to seeing the trial and whether it is the right person. To me, it feels like the right person now. I'm biased because somebody passed me the information, but I still feel that Richard Allen is the right man.
In that information you got, there was like an indication that he was acting alone, or that there were other people involved, no, some kind of a catfish scenario or a kidnapping scenario or something like that. What was the context of that?
No, there was nothing like that. It was, do I think that Richard Allen has the same eyes as Young Guy Sketch or Old Guy Sketch? I can't remember. There was nothing to say that Richard Allen was definitely the man. She did say some weird stuff at the time. It felt weird at the time, but looking back, it looks correct. And and that was that Richard Allen was on the trail and he'd been interviewed by police. So my thoughts from that was that he'd been on the trail, he'd been interviewed by police, and they were happy with his story. Which, if you're told what I was told, that's a sensible sensible decision to come up with. It's, you know, a sensible idea. So yeah, I just thought he was a normal guy.
Yeah, he looks like a normal guy. Let's see if he's innocent or guilty, or we don't know yet. But I think that we should, all of us, we should have the same thinking, regardless of even if you think Richard Allen is guilty, or if he's guilty and he acted alone, he's guilty and he acted with another people, or if he's innocent. What is really important is he deserves to have a fair process, because that's the only way. That's the only way for the girls to get justice. If he's guilty and he doesn't have a fair process, we can have a mistrial. He can walk free at one point. Let's say he's guilty, and because of the clumsiness or the incompetence of law enforcement or even the judge, at the end he walks free. We don't have any justice for the girls, you know. And let's see, we don't even know if he's guilty or not. We have to wait for the evidence that is going to be presented in the process. But he deserves to have a fair trial. Trial. Sorry if we get lost in translation. Sometimes
you're explaining it perfectly.
Okay, cool. So yeah, sorry, you can continue, Simon.
Well, I've not really got much to add to what I've said. I did come across something weird with Bitcoin being related. Well, I don't know if I've mentioned this in videos you've seen, but when I researched, well, Richard Allen says that he was reading a stock ticker on the trail. So what I did was I looked into all the stock tickers, I contacted the Wall Street Journal, people like that, to find out what people would be watching. And it was a really strange thing. It seems strange to me anyway, in that it was Bitcoin's biggest day that day. Bitcoin broke $1,000. So I presume Richard Allen wasn't checking his stock ticker, but was actually checking a Bitcoin price. It makes no difference really, except that I believe that part of Richard Allen's story, you know, where he said he was looking at a ticker, I believe he was looking at a Bitcoin price. So I came across that while I was looking into this. I've looked into all sorts of lines of inquiry. Oh, here we go. I will go and plug the power cord to my computer. Just one sec. Okay, so that's quick text. I can't see any questions in the chat. I can't see the chat, so I apologise for not answering questions.
Sorry, I was because my computer was at the point to die.
Whereabouts are you?
About what?
Whereabouts are you?
Sorry, I didn't get the.
Where are you?
What about me?
Yeah, what nationality?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand your question.
Sorry,
it's my English. It's my English. Sorry for that.
That's okay. What country are you in?
I'm gonna try to keep that anonymous from now. It's the land. It's the land of always winter. At one point, I'm gonna show my face. I'm gonna share more about my life. But for now, I'm gonna keep the mystery.
Okay, yeah. Well, I like it. I'm liking the look.
Thank you, man. So sorry, I went to plug my to look for my power cord. You were talking about something I wanted to talk also about, but I forgot. What were you talking about?
About the Bitcoin link.
Yeah. What do you think So because one of my thinking of my theories is that maybe that's true. Maybe he was looking at the stocks. How do you call that? Let's say
Yeah,
he was waiting for some kind of a monetary transaction at that time, or he was selling something, or he was expecting to receive some money, and something happened there. Something happened that he was not expecting to happen, and that triggered like anger or
I
rage,
thought so. I thought,
and
I wonder
and
if he was
because of
scammed.
that he was angry, and he went after the girls. I don't know. It's one of my theories too, because maybe that's true. Maybe he was looking at that, and he was expecting to get some money going into his account or something like that. I don't know. What do you think about it? Hey,
I agree
Slut,
with
how are
you.
you?
That's a theory that I've looked at.
Simon, here is Slut Intuition. I think you know him. He's a great creator, and he's saying hi to you.
He's a nice guy, Sleuth.
Yeah.
Is he in the chat?
So
Hi, Sleuth.
continue. What do you think about that?
About the theory regarding him possibly losing his mind over a financial transaction.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good theory, but there's not much proof for it. You know, and I don't think there ever would be proof for it. What he's looked at is only he'll know, I think.
Okay.
I do believe that he was looking at Bitcoin. It was a date when I was probably looking at Bitcoin myself. So I have to say, if I was doing it, then why not Richard Allen?
Yeah. Do you think Richard Allen was like a lone wolf, or he
Yeah, I think
was?
he's a lone wolf.
Yeah.
I think it's one guy. It looks impossible or almost impossible, but I think it's not impossible. I think maybe the girls had not some involvement, but were pressurized into helping him get away with this crime by probably maneuvering themselves rather than him being involved in pushing them around. I don't know, but that's just how I feel. I feel that it's one person, and he's very small. He's not a big guy. He's probably physically fit because we see pictures of him on Kathy Allen's page doing hill walking, stuff like that. So if he's into walking and holidaying and whatever, he's not totally unfit. It's just a theory. I'm just my thoughts.
Yeah, and I think it's not only about physical strength. It's also about psychological intimidation, because
Yeah.
you don't have to be a big guy to control two girls. It's enough if you have a gun, or even if you have only a knife. You can just threat one of the girls, and I don't know, something like, hey, if you talk, or if you're a troublemaker, I'm gonna kill your friend. It's enough. You don't have to be a big guy. You have to have just a gun, a weapon, and that's it. After that, it's just a matter of psychological intimidation, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
it's not about a big guy or a short guy. I don't know. Anyway, I don't have any conclusion, or it may be just Richard Allen alone, or maybe another type of scenario. Maybe he's innocent. I really don't know. I'm just trying to keep my mind open. At what? Hey, Chrissy, come here. At one time, I was sure about Keegan Kline being the only actor here, and it was clumsy from my side.
Well, I
But
think I fell for that as well. I thought that Keegan Kline was involved as well, because
I think he's involved, but he's not the only actor. So I don't know. Anyway, and okay, after you got that information, what's next? What's the next step?
There wasn't much more, except in 2022 I came across well, he got arrested. Yeah. And what happened was I went to Kathy Allen's page, like everybody else, and had a good look at the photos of Richard Allen. And I was like, I've been here before, and know these photos. And there were two photos that I remembered. One was Kathy Allen's daughter on the bridge, which I thought was strange. And there was also a picture of him sat on a couch with a picture of a sketch of a young bridge guy over his shoulder. So I remembered those two pictures. So I knew I'd been to this page. As soon as I saw his address, I knew I'd been to this before because of the Packers search theory that I had. And I thought, hold on, this guy's got the same route as the guy I looked at. So I knew that I was looking at somebody that I'd already had a look at. And then what happened? Well, then I put out a post. I did a few posts regarding what had happened, and I got trolled. So I removed them because it does sound an odd thing. There is a reward. I don't want to look like I'm chasing the reward, but I wouldn't say no. Yeah. Yeah, basically, there wasn't much happened afterwards.
Do you guys in the chat, do you have any question for Simon? Something that he can help us to clarify, or something that is interesting for you guys?
Yeah, I'll answer anything.
Thank you, Simon, for calling and for being here.
No problem. It's great being your first guest.
You look more like not that stressed as in the other channels, which is good.
Yeah, I am shaking. I've got terrible anxiety tonight, so my arms are shaking. So
you look really fine now, so I'm happy for that.
Yeah, I'm cool. I can deal with my anxiety if I know that other people understand it.
Okay. Cindy Leanne. Okay, can you answer to this question, Simon?
I missed it. Who is Simon? Oh, sorry. I'm a content creator. I'm not really a content creator. I've got 3 videos. I've got a channel called Simon Writes West Yorkshire, and I've got 2 interesting videos, I think. One is how, when, why Richard Allen was reported to LE by me in regard to Delphi murders. And the other one is about Richard Allen's ticker, which I've explained there about Bitcoin possibly. So I'm not really a content creator, but I am somebody who's very interested in true crime. 4 crimes in particular. The Delphi murders is one. Madeleine McCann is another one, and Claudia Lawrence is another one, and there is one more. But those are the cases that I'm really interested in, that I follow. I don't follow everything, but when I looked at the Delphi case, I thought that all the information's out there. It's all on the internet. Is there a way of catching Bridge Guy? And what I did was I used a sales. My background is sales, photography, and some audio work as well. So what I did was I converted a sales trick, not a trick, but technique, to finding Richard Allen, which was basically asking for suspects and trying to eliminate suspects by height and whatever. And that's why Richard Allen kind of slipped through. He wasn't the height that the FBI said he was. He wasn't the age that the FBI said he was. He had blue eyes, so he slipped through. But he still got reported by me because there was a possible doxing attempt. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been reported.
And that was in 2021, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty certain it's 2021. I don't have a phone record. I've contacted my mobile provider, and because I don't pay £2.50, I don't have my phone calls online, so I don't have the exact date, but I do think it was the end of 2021.
Okay. And did law enforcement come back to you?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Ah, that's crap.
Yeah, but if you were law enforcement and you were chasing Richard Allen and you were putting out a ruse to say it was Keegan Klein, or implying Keegan Klein, then you wouldn't actually get back in touch with anybody that reported Richard Allen, because it may alert them to make posts or start talking about Richard Allen. So it kind of makes sense that they wouldn't get back in touch with me. I'm not saying that that's the case, but that's how I feel.
Okay. Okay, Simon. So thank you, man, for calling. I'm gonna give some space for the other guests, for the other viewers, and keep in touch. And thank you so much for calling. It was really interesting to hear you.
Have a nice day.
You too, man. Thanks. Did you feel good? I hope so. If some of you guys want to call, so here's the link in the comment section. Having trouble right now. So that was Simon. It was really interesting. The last video I made was about the way the girls were treated, and I was questioning why Libby was treated in one way and Abby was treated in another way. And you guys, you got some interesting comments in the comment section of the video. Maybe I'm gonna share your ideas. That's gonna be interesting. Don Spain, thank you, man, for being here. You are a loyal, let's say. I'm happy you're here. Veronica, how are you? Just give me a second. I'm gonna try to find the video here. Don't know why this thing is giving me trouble. To be patient, girls, guys. I have a problem here, a technical issue. I'm gonna try to fix it right now. Just a little bit of patience. This is my first time using StreamYard, so I'm not very familiar with this software. And okay, just copy paste here, copy, save, come back to the comments. No, it's not working. I don't know. Ah, yeah, it's working. In the comment section, you're gonna see the link to call. If some of you guys wants to call, it's gonna be a pleasure to talk to you guys and to listen about your theories. I'm gonna look for my video here. Give me just 1 second. I know I'm being annoying, but it's gonna come soon. I think I have it now. Analyset, that would also indicate BG was not a real thing, though. If they wanted to found what that image, right? I don't know. What were you talking about? I missed that. So I have one of the comments here was, I think it was probably sexually motivated, but something went wrong. Being suddenly rushed, he may not have finished his plan for each one. I do think Libby was injured further. I heard that nothing is as it seems with this crime and would be shocked. That's puzzling. There's only so many scenarios. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, huh? I don't know if the girls, they have some additional injuries other than the information that was presented in the public in social media or etc. We know that they were killed by using a sharp knife or a sharp object. The throats were sliced. But what about the back of the back section of the bodies? Now we have these allegedly confessions of Richard Allen where he was telling about a possibility that he was shooting at the girls at the back, which is not consistent with the information we have. So I don't know. We don't have the autopsy report, the coroner's report. Maybe they have more injuries. We don't know about that. Anyway, hey guys, do you want to call any? It was interesting to hear Simon here. If one of you guys wants to call here, it's gonna be awesome. This is Kali, one of my best or my favorite subscribers. She says, why treat the girls differently? It's an interesting question. I'm thinking of various possibilities. One is that if Libby saw Abby killed first, perhaps she fought like hell and maybe that enraged the killer. Yeah, maybe Libby was the troublemaker. Maybe Libby was the one fighting the killer, Brit's guy, and and maybe that's why he was treating her like that. That's why she was disposed in the wooden area like that. If the wooden area was the crime scene, I think that there's a possibility that they were moved. There's no indication that there was blood around the crime scene. That's really weird because in one of the documents, I don't remember which one. I don't remember if it was the PCA, but they were talking about of a big amount of blood that was that happened during the crime. But in the crime scene, we don't see any blood. We see just a couple of stains in the Libby's hands. Of course, in the tree, the F or the allegedly F that was marked on the tree, but there was no blood. So where is the blood? What do you think about that? I don't know. What's the blood? So for me, that's an indication that were they killed in the river? If that's true, I don't think that Richard Allen alone he did that. I don't know, and or maybe they were killed in another place. They were kidnapped, moved to a garage or something like that. They were killed there. I don't know if they collected the blood to do something else with the blood after that, and they were moved to the crime scene. But it's weird. If there's no blood, where's the blood? What do you think about that? Let's say justice. In my opinion, I think Libby had the same body type as Richard Allen's daughter. There's a picture of her wearing the style of shirt Libby had. Yeah, that's creepy. Yeah, I remember that. She was like in the bed. That's a weird picture. Yeah, I remember that picture, and we don't talk too much about that. That's a good point, Lakeside Justice. But what do you think about that? If the fact that Libby had the same body type as Richard Allen's daughter, what do you think? Some kind of psychological connection there? He was. I don't want to say anything that is gonna bother the viewers, but I get your point. scout. All of this was meticulously planned down to each stick and placement, sticks collected ahead of time. Good point, because according to the Frank memorandum, the sticks were like cut. So I don't think that, I don't know, it's weird. If the sticks were cut at the crime scene, the bridge guy, he had to have some kind of tool to cut the sticks. And why did he do that? Or he did the cutting before committing the murders. In that case, yes, it was something that was planned. I agree. I agree with you. And now, it was random. It was like a random arrangement of the sticks in the crime scene, or not random. So remember also that at the beginning of the case, we have the Erskine. David Erskine is the name of the guy. The David Erskine text where he was talking about some details of the crime scene, and in those texts he said that the girls were covered by leaves. So that's different, because if there were leaves covering the bodies, that means that the killer was trying to hide the bodies, in my opinion. But when we see the pictures of the crime scene, there's no leaves. There are only sticks in that type of Germanic rune arrangement. So if David Erskine was right, I think that there's a possibility that the killers were trying to hide the bodies. But we don't know if he was right or not. So if he was not right and there were no leaves, just sticks, that's another different scenario. And then we should go to the documentary of the Lost documentary, when Hannah Shakespeare was talking about that the representation of the crime scene was, or the meaning of that was that the killer was trying to present the girls and not to conceal or to hide the girls. So let's see. I'm really very curious about the process that is coming soon. So we're gonna have more information about that, and let's see what's gonna be the evidence that is gonna be presented there. And again, I think that the defense is giving little by little small drops of information every time. Every time we hear about something from the defense, I don't know, at the beginning it was like the crazy Odinist theory. Then we have the information about the videos that Patrick Westphal and Brad Holder had, or no, Johnny Messer, they had on the cell phones. We know also that allegedly Brad Holder, he had some pictures with mimicking the same type of scenario of the crime scene, sticks, at the time when no one knew anything about the crime scene. We have the situation of Elvis Fields, the phones around the crime scene at the time, or some hours after this allegedly time of death of the girls. That's another thing. I don't know, and I don't think anyone knows what was the time of death. We have to speculate about that, because the law enforcement said that everything, and it is vague, everything was done by X time. They never said that at 3 o'clock 15 minutes the girls died. they never said that. They said by 3 o'clock everything was done, something like that. It's like a general statement. It's really weird. And in the death certificates of the girls, one was reported dead on the 13th, and the other one was reported dead on the 14th. That was supposedly clarified afterwards, but it's really suspicious. I don't know. And yeah, the timeline is very, very filmy. Agree. Analyst said, Roku's channel asserts 2 blood drops were found. DNA of both girls plus unknown male DNA. Yeah, and there was blood on the tree. We know that the blood it came from Libby, and we have blood on Libby's hand. So yeah, there's some blood, but I don't know what can we conclude about that. There was like a 2% of the blood at the crime scene. What is the other 98% of the blood? The blood was lost. Where? In the Deer Creek, in the garage of the neighbor that was there. I don't know. It's really weird. So, do you have any question here, guys, or any comments? I really wanted to test this software. I think it worked fine. Apparently, you can hear me well and you can see me well, so that's good. Did BG consume the blood? Okay, Jackie Johnson. The Odinist theory is bullshit. No one really believes it. I have something to say about that. What do you mean by Odinist theory? What's your idea about Odinist? Because we can see the Odinist thing in a different perspective. If we say that the Odinist theory is only related to a cult and a sacrifice scenario, that the girls were sacrificed by these Odinist believers, I agree with you. I think that could be bullshit. But I don't think the Odinist theory is just about that. I think and even Todd Click, he said something like that. No one in law enforcement believes that the girls were sacrificed. The defense is making like a big circus about that. But it doesn't. But remember that Todd Click, he did a big investigation about the Odinist angle. And the Odinist angle is not only about sacrifice. It's just change the name. Change the Odinist or the Vinlanders by Hell Angels. And you're going to have a total different picture here. It's the same type of people, Aryan supremacist people working together. And that could be a drug-related thing. It doesn't mean that they share Odinist beliefs or Odinist ideologies, but it doesn't mean that the murders were related to a sacrifice. It could be related to a revenge, a drug-related thing. Just go watch. What's the name of this series? I forgot, but. Like, think about Hell Angels. It's the same thing. Change Vinlanders by Hell Angels, and you're going to have a high possibility of a drug-related scenario here. If they were sending a message to the family because some drug business went wrong, then you're going to have the Odinist theory working here. I don't know what you think about that. But Odinist doesn't mean only sacrifice. Odinist is just that people with similar ideologies were working together to commit the crime, not only to sacrifice, but rather to commit like an execution. And maybe one of the girls was the target, and the other girl was just collateral, you know. And that's what I think about that. Let me see here in the comment section. Logan was the honeypot to lure the girls. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Logan was he was supposed to meet the girls that day, and he was not there. Why? It looks like it sounds very similar to the statement of Keegan Klein. I was supposed to meet the girls, but they never showed up. It's really weird. Some of these things are like connected in some weird way. And if Logan was supposed to meet the girls and he was not there, is maybe because his father didn't want him to go there, or I don't know. Sorry, thinking at the same time. But remember that Logan Holder and Brad Holder, they went to the funeral of the girls. They were there. And Brad Holder said that Logan was destroyed, that he really was like in a bad condition after the murders, which I understand why. If he was the boyfriend of Abby, but in the other side, if he was part of the situation, that could be also a factor for him to be destroyed about the situation. And remember that Libby was dressed or redressed. She was not naked. So why? Remember that when someone is treated, some victim is treated that way, is because she represented some, or she was important for the killer. So I'm not saying that Logan Holder was the killer, but if he was part of the scenario, maybe that's why the girl Abby, at least Abby, was treated more in a more decent way than Libby, you know. Let me see here. Jackie Johnson. I hope Allen supporters realize that Rick is in serious trouble. I expect a conviction and life sentence. Look, I really, I don't know how to say this. If Richard Allen is guilty and he was the only actor, I hope that the prosecution is going to be able to demonstrate that. And like that, we all are going to be like released. Justice is served. I really hope so. I hope he if he's the killer and they are able to demonstrate that during the process, that's it. All of us, we are gonna have some kind of peace in a different way. Of course, the family is gonna have more peace than us. We are just obsessed with the case, but I really think that there are other actors involved. And if during the process Richard Allen is gonna incriminate other people, like the clients of or Ron Logan, I don't know. Maybe he's gonna incriminate other people. We don't know. Maybe he was involved. Maybe he wasn't. I don't have any idea. So I don't know. This case is crazy, guys. And I don't want to keep you too much here. I want to maybe some final comments. Did you like this streaming? As I told you, it was my first time using this software. Not very familiar with that. So maybe I'm gonna do similar streamings the near future. I'm very glad you are here, commenting, interacting with me. Thank you again to Simon for calling and for sharing his experience. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much. Keep in touch. See you next time. And thank you again.